Now, just one thing. This next clip here has a two-way, not quite stereo soundtrack to it. If you just stick your right headphone in your ear, you'll hear me babbling away about Fallout 4 and what I'm doing with it and what I think of it and so on and so forth to a certain extent. If you don't want to hear about that, just stick your left can in your ear roll and enjoy a trio of tracks from Sheldon Allman's Songs for the 21st Century, or Song of the 21st Century, 1950s schlock that you're probably going to love more than my dribbly sentences. Anyway, let's get on with it. And another lovely day in suburbia begins.
It started when they took and hitched a boiler to a wheel and made the mechanism
yep,
run
that's right.
on rails of
Dear
steel.
old
But there were
Fallout,
lots of
and there's
people who
someone
would
at the
never
door.
ride the train.
Who on
They
earth
said
could
it
it
was
be?
the devil's work enchanted
In
this
this
refrain.
alternate
I'm gonna walk on
future
the
past.
ground like the good
Why, it's
Lord
the
intended,
man
like
from
it
Voltaire.
meant for me and meant for you.
And what's he offering us today? Well, of course, we're talking about being safe from total nuclear annihilation,
It wasn't long before they figured out
which is of course all part of the drawn-out introduction to everything. I'm sure anybody who's played the game knows how you spend absolutely bazonka time twisting and yanking the features around. I haven't done that myself. This is actually from the second character, Harold, who is still playing through the game at the moment. And whoops, it sounds like, well, oof, darling Sean has made us stinky. We'll do something about that, Nora. Oh, okay, I'll do it myself. Anyhow, it's actually rather charming to see the sort of before and afters. The lovely house we have here. Hello, Sean. Ain't you cute? Already, of course, and of course, all of this is part of the current Bethesda tradition of long, drawn-out tutorials, as opposed to the relatively short one that Morrowind had. Wasn't it lovely, the way it would just pop up a little dialogue saying, you're on your own now, good luck. Well, you're never alone with a fork, and as they say, or they should say anyway, and for that matter, you're never alone in Fallout 4. No need to worry about cryptic. Sorry, did somebody say something? Let's see how they're all
meant for me and meant for you. We're gonna walk on the ground.
Sliding doors.
Like the good Lord intended. Like the good Lord
interesting to see
intended us to do. Oh, yep. This is when everything hits the fan, or you know, the explosions. Hello, who opened the door? Behind. It's an indicator. Get the hell out of there. Which is exactly what we're going to do. So of course we do. It's a lovely autumn day. I believe it was Halloween. At least they kind enough to tell you which direction you're going. This is actually really nice. But in any case, you've got your usual frantic dash. That isn't actually as frantic as it should be. Park up. No need for reversing lights. Hello Laura. Hello Sean. You made it. That's great. Everything's going to be fine, isn't it? I'm sure it's going to be fine. Even the neighbours are fine. At least I think the neighbours are fine. Oh, everything's not going to be fine because Boston just blew up. Where's that Cambridge? Yeah, that's near Cambridge. Anyway, so I'm sure everything's going to be marvellous as we get into our boxes and the decon chambers and hang on, what's going on? Somebody took Sean. I mean, that's actually something that really peeves me about this whole thing, that they telegraphed the main quest right at the start. pretty much the same as with Oblivion and kind of with Skyrim as well. I mean, when you've got Alduin looking you straight in the eye while you're still on the chopping block, it's a bit of a giveaway. And personally, I'm sure that somebody created a simple plugin that skips the whole cutscene where your spouse gets killed and Nora and Sean gets kidnapped. I've already read ahead, so I know what happens with the board being, but never mind that. So, once again, we're off to the races. We're off to the races. Because it's time to start scavenging, get to gear together, and prepare to fight off worse than rad roaches. Because, of course, there's a lot worse than rad roaches, isn't there? Of course, by that time you're pretty much fed up of flies, and let's face it, we've got plenty of flies. We've got bloat flies, we've got rad roaches, we've got mutated mosquitoes. Oh gosh, isn't that the grossest thing ever? Oh, sorry.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, to my lover.
Yeah, that gout of blood was a maggot munching on me. Gross aroma. I'm still in the military fatigues I found in good old sanctuary hills, and I do tend to find myself being railroaded into taking part in main quest threads that I don't want. I mean, here's a spoiler alert. To finish the molecular level, you have to embark on the railroad quests. You may find it useful, like I've done, to start on the Brotherhood of Steel quest, but just be careful because some of the quest givers will just keep giving you what are called Radiant quests, you know, the automatically generated ones, over and over again if you're trying to be polite. Also, one of the other challenges I've had is defeating the foe known as problems with hanging on load screens, particularly when it comes to leaving or fast traveling from the heart of downtown Boston to just an interior cell, or fast traveling away from the interior cell, or let alone into yet another exterior cell elsewhere in central Boston. And the only way you can deal with that is to, when you're about to do something like that, quick save, attempt to move, and if you don't, well, you just crash out with Control-Alt-Delete and reload and hope to God the game will actually play. The game's a bit flaky for me. I think that might be my 8-year-old video card, but I'm sort of going to keep going, just out of wounded pride. Well, I won a competition. At the Dirty Ore server. So here we are in Creative World, and look at all those lovely competition plots. The theme, 1.11 update. And here is a bunny of death fighting a llama and 2 illagers. What's an illager? Well, you'll have to find a woodland mansion to find out, won't you? Here's a llama wearing a cape with confetti and streamers and a hat. A sweet hat, yay. Here's a sort of a mini skyblock thing. Actually, it turns out that you can play skyblock on the Dirty Ore server. I'm pan-sanded. I can't get my cobble generator to work. Here's somebody with a shulker chest and little baby llamas. Ain't they cute? Oh. Yeah. Valentine and what the heck that thing is. Looks like it's zapping the shulker chest or whatever. But of course I'm the winner. You can tell which one is mine. And here it is. Yes, this big snow-covered pyramid with the giant llama on top. I made that. Start off in a blinding, screaming blaze of creative madness! Before it became the Temple of the Llamagod. For more information, please reread these signs. You might not be able to see them, so I'll read them for you. See, this example I found in an uncooked tundra villager's sock. To get it here, I had to break it up into 4-inch squares and transport it in crates cunningly marked date fertilizer this way up. There's a cookie in it if you can get the reference. But in any case, inside of course is where the worshippers would do their worshipping, and there's, you probably missed it, but there's a confessional down the back where priests could hear the confessions of the congregation and also take bookings for sacrifices. So I kept up with the llama theme, obviously. So you've got these stylized llamas. You'll notice, of course, that they have very red legs. The llamas can be vicious with wolves, but I couldn't get any wolf heads, so I used dragon ones instead. But then again, llamas that can beat up ender dragons, that's pretty cool, eh? So in any case, this is the pulpit and burnt offerings processing plant. There's a couple of vestries underneath. Well, actually there's one vestry and there's a sauna on the other side. Upstairs is where the priesthoods lived. Well, the priesthood lived. Bleh. So here we are in the dining area, where all 9 of them would chow down and puke up or whatever. 4 of them would sleep there. The high priest had the highest quarters, of course, complete with the decorations and an ender chest, whee, to look over the little congregation. And this is where the priest would stand around and lecture, not to mention lecture and lecture, and probably bop people on the bonds a couple of times if they weren't paying attention. Falling off these unprotected stairs was considered evidence that you lacked faith. Doesn't that it bothers me at all. Let's fly out here. Oh yes, and this is an ossuary, where those who were particularly high paying, most faithful, could have their bones kept under the auspices of the benevolent, the all-knowing, the all-loving, the all-sacrifice-accepting Llamagod. I actually based this off a picture somebody did of what llama was supposed to look like. As it says here, sacrifices were quite popular and you had to book in advance. So you couldn't actually see it very well, but the eyes were on fire, and it was considered a lack of faith to fall to your death after lighting them. The soul sand is just toilet humour, but also there's quite a bit of scar folk in these explanatory signs. It'll be disappearing soon. I won. Did I mention that? I'm going to mention it again. I won. I won 50,000 in-world dollars to spend on whatever disgusting and unsound and unsavory rites, rituals and rituals I might think of. Hello. Don't know why I popped it on the nose. But as I say, it was covered in snow, and that also makes it look a bit more interesting. I suppose I could have made it just out of straight pure diorite, but I didn't think of that. In any case, there's a few other competition entries, I think. I mean, there's this one, but I don't quite understand what it is. Is it supposed to be something? I mean, or did the guy just give up and, I don't know. So many empty plots. But I like how some people went for dioramas, and I just went for giant llamas. And I'm quite proud of it. I've just took a whole lot of photographs last night as I'm recording this and put them up on Flickr for people to gaze in awe, and gaze in astonishment, and possibly gaze in revulsion at. But I think that's enough for me. Later on, I'm going to have to go back to Likes Land, which has finally got to 1.11. Meanwhile, in Second Life, I've been a bit busy creating an alternative to these rather hastily cobbled together blimps that you can press a button to raise and then pilot and fly away. The scripts of those were taken from a freebie by Eccles of Arcadia Asylum fame, and so a lot of the parts on this particular one
Originally it was a cardboard bird with flappy wings, and you could touch the body to make it drop a water balloon in it. I've taken the water balloons out, and more importantly, I've taken these rather hastily cobbled together blimps out too. I mean, they're very nice, but sitting in a rickety thing like that is not my cup of tea. But it helped me get an idea of how to build the machines, so I came up with something new. And I've been rather busy with Mesh Studio to create a thing that I call the Blimpster. I'm just about to res one now, but they're in the reser. I've been busy creating about 16 different color schemes, so you can press a button, get one of these fine mesh objects, a bit plump. They're made of 8 different separate objects, and they weigh about 22 prims apiece, yeah, I'm sure of it. Get them from Dimbleby's Discount Dirigibles anyway. Paid a handsome sum for the mesh gears, and the thing ticks. It's a clockwork 4-bag single person blimp, and it works like my bicycle and boats that you can res and bum around on. That is to say, you basically sit on the little beasts and you tap forward to cycle up through the gears, like that, or cycle backwards to cycle through the gears and the one reverse, because there are 6 gears, 6 forward speeds and 1 reverse. More than enough, really. And the 6th one is pretty much solve this simum going elsewhere. So away it goes. Every time you press it, there's a clunk of gearing, and then it starts chugging away. Each speed has its own sound, which is rather nice, except for reverse. Although later on I might, well, I think version 2, I'm going to actually probably have to learn Blended to make it better and lighter, and also to make it one single solid object, which is probably more sensible. Perhaps I should try that in Mesh Studio anyway, because I really rather like this machine. As you can see, it's page up, page down to raise and lower yourself, and you can also, as it say, change your speed. Now, docking speed and sightseeing speed are relatively safe speeds to cruise around and take in the new Babbage sites, and why wouldn't you? But if you want a bit more excitement, you can go further. You can go from slightly dangerous speed to ramming speed to you speed, demon you. Oh, hang on, there's some patient speed before that. And the fun thing that happens is that as you bang into things in 3rd gear or higher, your little vessel starts to take damage. Yes, that's right, you can have exciting demolition derbies in the skies of New Babbage. Like there, I've just copped a certain amount of damage. The more damage you do, the more smoke pours out of the, well, the magic smoke pours out of the various gas bags on the Blimpster. And what happens eventually is that if you cop enough damage, you will suddenly find yourself rather rudely unseated, owing to the fact that your Blimpster has, well, let's just say they're trim little craft, but they do have a disturbing tendency to explode if you abuse them too much. So it's a good idea not to do that, despite the fact that that's exactly what I'm doing. In fact, if you've been on the fells a few days back, you would have seen me driving around to make sure the collision code all worked, and there it goes, boom! Dead. Now I have to walk all the way back to the Babbage blade and bowls. I seem to be in the slummy area of the Canal District, I believe. Let's see if I can walk up that. Plane. Oops, missed it. Oh, group notice. Who's that from? Don't know. Well, I probably did know at the time, but I can't remember who it was, so I paid no attention. Whoops, daisy. Fortunately, I was able to walk on top, climb up the steep slopes. They've been playing around with the wind light here, by the way. And it's really sad to see those ranks upon ranks of warehouses where Capellini Fine Furnishings used to be. It was a beautiful brick building done up to look like a traditional Chesterfield Chester drawers. Very pretty, very elegant, but apparently Monsieur Capitoline couldn't hack it anymore, or just couldn't keep up. So yep, I'm in the no areas. Now, as you can see, it's for sale. It's a fairly large bit, but you get all the space. That's what those huge metal wheeled wagons are for. They've got the words "land for sale" on them. I don't know what I would do with it personally. I don't know what all these crates and boxes are for. They're very impressive, but well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to finish off this podcast, and to do that, I'm going straight over here to Bow Street Station, and I'm going to avail myself of a drink. Good night.